chance saved by BCB.
Incredible job by the Sooners. So much chaos in front of the net there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Arctic Edge Ice Arena, where we have a top 25 matchup between your Oklahoma Sooners and the Arizona Wildcats. The Sooners coming off one of the hottest weekends in hockey they've had in a long time. Amy, why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened last weekend?
Yeah, as you referenced, the Sooners had an incredible weekend, a Thursday game that was added into the schedule later on. And the Sooners were leading 3-0 early on and then fell back in the later periods, but were able to come back to a 4-3 lead. And I think that proves how special, how great this team is this season, the fact that they can come back from, falling behind like that. And I don't think that's a game that this team last year necessarily wins, despite how great they were. And I think that shows the strength and the grit of this team.
Absolutely. We talk about that love-hate relationship that holds with the ACHA computer rankings, but they rewarded the Sooners for that good play, and what a good start it's been. 9-0-2. Those first two games against Arkansas, think of that as preseason. So while it counts technically in standing, doesn't actually mean anything towards what matters most, and that's the Sooners being number 8.
Exactly, and this is the first time that the Sooners have been in the top 10 since 2019, and that Utah team they beat last Thursday is now ranked number 7, so that shows the strength that they had to beat that team in what seemed like dominant fashion at first, but also to come back. And then they went on the road to Missouri State, swept on the road with dominant fashion, the first game winning 8-2, and then the second game 3-2. So the Sooners are on a hot streak right now, but number 17 Arizona's coming in, and despite there being a lower ranking, it's still a tough matchup between these two teams, and it's going to be exciting to watch.
We didn't get a chance to talk to Coach, but if you had to imagine what he was going to say, it definitely would be all smiles on his face. Sooners playing what I would consider to be near perfect hockey in every aspect and facet of this game. It's not perfect, but it's near perfect with how they're defending, how their goaltending is, and their offensive abilities has shown, especially that one of those games against Missouri State where they put up 8, which is one of the highest scoring OU offensive games we've seen in quite some time. And so overall, Coach has to be very happy. I don't have too much else to report on his side of things, but I'm just going to assume that he's probably pretty pleased with the way things have been going.
Exactly, especially that Utah game. Early on, they weren't great in the power play, but then coming out of the second period, they kind of lit up the scoreboard, as we saw. And I think that was something that they've been looking for improvement on. Like Coach emphasized these past 2 seasons, getting out and starting out hot, getting those shots, creating opportunities, and taking advantage of the opportunities that another team gives you, especially such a team as great as Utah. And they're going to look to continue that tonight against an Arizona squad.
The rookies have been leading the way for the Sooners. Jackson Fodrell, Owen Carlisle, Alex Kagan, we highlighted him. We'll have some footage of him and Aaron Best in an interview clip at some point later this season for you guys. We apologize for not putting any Hockey Time in Oklahoma episodes up. Life happens. We're college students. Midterms and car troubles have been our kryptonite with that, but we will hopefully look forward to resuming that for the rest of the season as the Sooners take the ice. We're going to step aside shortly and come back to you with Puck Drop. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Arctic Edge Ice Arena, where we currently have a camera shot. Kind of hard to tell, but that is Coach Peter Arvanitis wearing the bedazzled Sooner jersey that you can have a chance to win yourself if you go to ouhockey.com, fill out that raffle, pay for the tickets. You could have a chance to win a beautifully bedazzled hockey jersey for you to take home.
It's pretty nice looking. And speaking of nice looking uniforms, an all-time uniform matchup we have here tonight at Arctic Edge. The Sooners and their anthracite alternates and the Arizona Wildcats.
It's insane.
With the embroidered cactus and state flag on the side. A gorgeous sight to see.
Will Josephson to take the face-off against Benjamin Mondu. And Wildcats win the face-off, played back to the right wing. Held in at the neutral zone by Nate Payne. Pestered, Mondu comes away with it. Horn chasing in his own zone. Shovels it forward to Alex Kagan. Kagan slaps it around the boards over to Tristan Davison. Plays it off for Benjamin Mondu. Mondu comes ahead with full steam, powering into the offensive zone. Gold, the Arizona Wildcats goaltender trying to play that behind his own net. Horn keeps it in at the line, dumps it back down. Tristan Davison along the half wall. Played down to Benjamin Mondu. Mondu turns, spins, catches a stick, arm stays down, and the other way go the Wildcats. Going to apologize ahead of time for those Arizona fans tuning in. We do not have spotting boards for the Wildcats, so might be some mispronounced names, might be some missed names, but it's all part of the program. Here's the Sooners turn it over. Now the Wildcats turn it over. Aaron Best shot on the goal, no problem there, just a soft one right around the face-off dot, and 18:56 left to go in the first frame. Not much happened, few turnovers, and we're kind of used to that here in Arctic Edge.
For sure, definitely. A little bit of a slower start to the game than some of the past few matchups we've had, but sure to be an exciting one that'll build up over the course of these three periods.
Wildcats win the face-off. They like to go the other way. Best nearly got a stick in there. Puck dumped in, chased after it by Sam Myers. And the other way goes Jackson Fodrell, the leading scorer for the Sooners. Plays it over to Carlisle. Rips a shot, blockered away by Gold. What a shot there by Owen Carlisle. Nearly snuck through. And blockered away. Now the other way goes Myers again. Dances around a man. Myers in on Culbertson Bond. Never got the shot off. It's a good job there by Jackson Fodrell, back checking on that in order to break up that offensive chance for the Wildcats. Quick shot fought off by BCB. Rebound on his backhand goes wide of the net. Fodrell gets stepped into. Puck hit the Sooner bench, so it's going to be an offensive zone face-off for the Wildcats.
A little bit of a more aggressive matchup than I thought so far this early on. We thought that Utah last week was going to be the more aggressive matchup given its history, but Arizona and the Sooners already given some pushes and shoves early on in this game, but now Arizona has a chance to capitalize. Riley
Ruh, hope I'm pronouncing that right, wins the face-off for the Wildcats. Connor Horn and Ruh go into the end boards there. Connor Horn takes the worst of it and then a little extra after. Kagan controls for the Sooners, looking to bring out Logan Cavalcanti. Slips through a few bodies in the neutral zone. Recovered by Arizona. We don't have too much of a scouting report on Arizona that coming into this game. So expect the unexpected here at Arctic Edge as Pont gets taken down from behind by Owen Bullhauer. And the other way goes the Sooners. Jacob DuPont over to Tristan Glass. Just off the toe of his stick and loses it. Cabe Stoner. Played in at the neutral zone. Puck dumped in. BCB elects to stay in his net. Alex Kagan with it now. Over to Josh Bells. Just looking to get it clear. Josh Bells laying up a nice little hit there. Carson Glass steps on the ice. Sooners get a quick change. Puck picked off in the neutral zone. Hops back over to Alex Kagan. Kagan over to Horn. Back to Kagan. Played forward to Porter Wolk. Looking to just get it in the zone cleanly. Carson Glass takes it from there. Josh Bells chases after it. Lays a good check. Nearly recovered that puck in behind the net. Goldstein over to McDonald. Lasers one. Sooners get off for a change. Arizona has some bodies up there with no Sooners pestering. Would have been an odd man rush for them. McDonald collides with a Wildcat. Puck behind BCB. McDonald clearing again. Goldstein whiffs on his clearance attempt. Puck held into the point. Shot looking for a tip. Couldn't find it. Goes wide of the net. Good block there by Tristan Davison. And Ben Mondu looking to pick this pass off. And he just missed it by a step, but the Sooners still have a rush. Tristan Davison. Puck hopping made it difficult for him to get a hold of. Bit of a broken play for both teams. Wildcats taking all the time in the world. Nicholas Chioka. And behind, Gold for Arizona as that puck dumped in from the neutral zone. Levasseur trying to get it free. Sooners once again having trouble getting their offense going in the neutral zone. We talked about this. We're going to get an icing here. Talked about this at the start of the Utah game, how it looked like it was pretty much just stretch pass after stretch pass. They weren't really able to get organized and get organic offensive rushes going from the genesis of their own defensive zone.
Exactly, yeah. It seems like they're capitalizing on some of the errors and messed up plays by the Wildcats, but not really able to start something for themselves right now early on. But we saw how that game turned out. The Sooners ended up scoring a goal late in the first. That opened up the floodgates in the second, but right now, not much going for the Sooners, but they'll try to change that right now as Carlisle takes the draw.
Yeah, he's getting talking to, and they're going to, we saw this a lot last game. They're going to kick out Josephson for Utah, or excuse me, for Arizona. Bring in Erickson, and now they're going to bring Josephson back. I don't know what's happening. Interesting.
ACHA hockey, everyone.
Fodrell got that faceoff from Carlisle, hit a Arizona Wildcat defender there. And a little skirmish along the end boards. Best comes away with it. Chips it back on his backhand. Downloaded Carlisle looking for a centering feed. No one was there. Puck held in by Levasseur. Owen Carlisle trying to make things work. Sooners unable to break free on this Arizona defense so far as they look to go for a change. Levasseur's getting pestered heavily. Swearingen looks to break out over to Fodrell. On his backhand, Fodrell dumps it into Tristan Glass. Taken over by Arizona. Oh, and what a hit by Tristan Glass. That'll wake you up. Fodrell takes a check of his own. Gives a little slash. Intensity and physicality definitely ramping up. Offensive chances for either teams have not, as that's going to be another icing. No, they're going to say not. Waved off for reasons unknown. Now Cavalcanti with the Sooners. He's got speed. He uses it. Puck played in by DuPont. A little bit of a miscommunication there as that one skied. Played down by Alex Kagan. Dumped in. Cavalcanti gets a stick lifted again. Culbertson Bond has to play it softly. Has to watch out for Arizona forwards. Chris McGovern and Arizona enter into the offensive zone. Centering feed out, BCB. Oh, and what a block by Carson Glass. BCB didn't even get a chance to save that. That was probably the best opportunity we've seen in terms of a clear shooting line. And we're going to get a Logan Cavalcanti. Oh, it's an icing. We're making sure everybody's still out there. That's why I was fearful for a second with the authority in the linesman voice that they were getting some sort of triple minor penalty for unsportsmanlike or something, but just making sure everyone stays out there from that icing call. Jacob DuPont for the Sooners grabbed a goal in that Utah game. He was the first goal scorer on that Thursday matchup between two of the WCHL's top teams in terms of standings in the ACHA league.
Yeah, not much now going for either team. A great stop, as you mentioned earlier, by Carson Glass, the younger Glass brother, making an impact on the defense. But right now, it seems like both teams are kind of having the same struggles. And while Arizona has been able to get a few more clear chances and starts on offense, they're still both tied for shots, 1-for-1.
So far this season, these slow starts have favored the Sooners as it just kind of wears out the opposition. Meanwhile, they're figuring out how to work things and get things created for themselves. We'll see if that's the case tonight and this weekend, as that should have been a penalty as Mondu got swept away from the puck. I believe they're going to deem that incidental contact. Lavasser over to Payne. Flips it up to Tristan Davison. I'm going to say play with a hand pass there. Have that face off.
It looks like some pushing and shoving exchange by Mondu and Shioka.
One of the referees, Ewing, has one of the best mustaches and haircuts I think I've ever seen a referee possess, at least in this league. He's got the full handlebar mustache and a full head of hair.
Perfect for hockey.
Yep. Fits right in. Goldstein rips one, blocked. Goldstein had that game-winning goal against Utah on the power play for the Sooners last Thursday. It was one of the most important goals possibly so far to start this season, as the Sooners were on tilt as they gave up 3 goals in 5 minutes to the start of that third period, which erased their lead. And then Adam Goldstein had the answer. Arizona looking to get their feet under them. Carson Glass gets danced around by Hunter Hodgson, excuse me. A little extracurricular there as Josh McDonald's given a chirping to an Arizona Wildcat player that's being smothered by officials and behind BCB. I don't think I've seen that much security personnel breaking up a play like that. I don't know what words were exchanged.
Yeah, I've definitely seen some small pushes and shoves, but interesting to see how much the refs are already trying to break this up.
The physicality that the Sooners added this offseason with Kagan and McDonald is something that has just been so beneficial for this team. There's not a single defensive pairing for the Sooners this season that can't lay a nasty hit or stand up for a player in the need of retaliation, and that the Sooners have all of that. His own Carlisle comes out for the Sooners, drops it over to Fodrell. Fodrell misses his pass, ends up having the puck on his backhand. It floats high for a second. Best trying to collect it. He does, rips a shot, and that's right on a Gold. There was traffic in front of Gold on that opportunity, and Best just decided to rip one. I think it was the right decision, unfortunately, just right at the Wildcat netminder, who was not set in his butterfly for that whatsoever, but fortunately for him, it was center mass.
And once again, at the end of that play between Fodrell and Hodgson, some extracurriculars. These two teams do not like each other. Unsure of what words are being said between them. That's got
instant animosity. Yeah,
exactly.
Right. And that's just the sport of hockey to some extent, but Gold misplayed that a little bit. I think he thought it was going to take a different bounce off those boards. Kagan ends up flipping it down. Horn's going to have to hold the point here. Nearly did. Aaron Best, nice spinorama move. Halloween was last night, so perhaps that's the reason for this slow start. Definitely a slow start for us up here at the booth as well.
Exactly. A little tired from a long night of handing out lots of candy.
Yep.
A bunch of trick-or-treaters.
Sooner defensemen doing a good job of picking off any sort of dangerous passes. They're clogging those passing lanes well. As Tristan Glass goes the other way, he gets taken down, and we will get the first penalty of the night going against Arizona.
Now this is where the Sooners will be looking to continue where they left off last game against Utah, last home game, capitalizing on those power plays and finally like to make an impact, tilt the ice in their favor. As it'll be
Owen Vilhauer. Very
from Aberdeen, South
German.
Dakota.
Oh, and Tristan Glass is getting an embellishment penalty on that.
So it will not be the first power play of the night for the Sooners. It will be
4-on-4
hockey for 2 minutes. And we're definitely hearing some arguments from not really the Sooner bench, but Glass's teammates who are on the ice with him.
Lots of controversy over the embellishment penalty. It's probably one of the most controversial hockey penalties because it's like if he got hooked, if you're going to call the hooking or the tripping or whatever it is, then, you know, call that. Don't call both embellishment and that. But it's a rule, and it's a rule in ACHA as well. So we'll get a good look at 4-on-4 as Wildcats get a breakaway shot, scores. Broken play for the Sooners, and Riley Rugg gets on the board for the Wildcats. He had all the time and space in the world to receive that pass, and BCB gets beat low blocker side on that shot.
Unfortunately for the Sooners, they are just looked a little bit confused, not have the right game plan, a little bit of maybe a lack of communication on their part, allowing that breakaway from Ruh. No one was able to catch him. Chris
McGovern and John Baird will get the 2 assists on that goal from Ruh. As the Sooners look to answer here, still 4-on-4. Carlisle, plenty of open ice. He's got Wildcats chasing after him. Gets taken down. Wildcat loses a stick, and played forward by Arizona. Fodrill trying to lay a hit. Evades his man. Wildcats take their time. Good hit there by Connor Horn. Arizona coughs up the puck. Horn recovers. Sooners getting in open space here. Carlisle elects to drop it back to Alex Kagan, leading the rookies and the defensemen in goals. As Gold blockered that shot away from Kagan, no problem. Fodrill chases after it behind the net. Centering feed for Carlisle. It's a bouncy puck, and now 2-on-1. The other way goes Arizona. Kagan gets back on defense. Saucer pass goes well wide of his marker. And now the Sooners look to try to counter with an attack of their own, but they cough up the puck. Centering feed, poked away by Fodrill. Couldn't get to it in time, otherwise Tristan Davison was home free. A little less than 35 seconds left on this 4-on-4. It's the best chances we've seen so far tonight. It's come in these last 2 minutes, one of them resulting in a goal for the visitors. Vassar chases it back down to BCB, holds on to it. And we'll get 20 seconds left on this. It's 2 minors, one for tripping, the other for embellishment.
An unfortunate break for the Sooners. The good thing is it's early on. There's still plenty of hockey, and despite it not going the Sooners' way last Thursday here, anything can happen in these games. The 1-goal lead is definitely not safe, so they have plenty of opportunity to even things up. But the offense needs to get started and stop giving up opportunities to the Wildcats.
John Baird ripped that shot onto BCB and was fought off no problem. Left the zone, will do that face-off again, this time from the right side. Quick shot off the face-off, nearly got by BCB. Good individual effort there by Justin Hughes. Wins the face-off and then rips one. Line change here for the Sooners. Even though the Wildcats possess that 1-goal lead, it doesn't feel like they're one good opportunity away from tying this thing right back up. And that's the thing, and the difference between this year and last year especially, is that shot goes well wide of BCB's. Don't count the Sooners out this year. They definitely have that offensive talent. We talked about how deep their lines are. Coach talks about how deep their lines are, and that's what'll get you those comeback wins. As Fodrill hasn't been on his game tonight with his touches. That one went well off his stick as he fans on that shot attempt as well. Now the other way goes Arizona. Trying to do a toe drag move there and ran into Adam Goldstein. That's not going to work out too well. McDonald nearly lays into a man. There's that shot. Hit a stick, hit some traffic, went over the net. Josh Bell's fighting for it, scrappy guy. Couple of slashes on the shin pads, an exchange in front of the Sooner bench. Goldstein gets held up. Puck now around the face-off dot for Arizona. Shot, glove save, BCB. Solid save there by the senior netminder. We've said that only 1,000 times since we have arrived in this broadcast booth.
Exactly. It's always incredible to see BCB in his element, doing his best tonight to maintain that 1-goal deficit right now, not let it balloon into anything. A good break for the Sooners there, as it seemed like the Wildcats were starting to pounce in the opportunities they had swarming around, and maybe not setting up the best shots for themselves, but still getting a lot of fast, quick shots on net, almost a flurry of opportunities there, and the Sooners are going to need to clear this out quick. if they don't want to see this lead get bigger for the Wildcats.
Carson Bassett got stapled into the glass on that. Sooners end up coming away with it. Tristan Davison nearly got around some men there to make a good chance as he had to touch up and was offsides, and he gets a stick around his neck, gets an arm around his neck, and then gets more things around his neck as nothing gets called. If you weren't sure it was going to be the first time, would have thought it maybe would have been the second time, and then by the third and fourth time, you thought surely something happens from that in terms of penalty, but we do not get one.
Interesting to see the precedent that the refs set every game for penalties called, and it seems like between the chippiness they've seen between these two teams already that they're not interested in making all of these calls, maybe because they believe there'd be too many of them, but if that doesn't warrant a penalty, it'll be interesting to see what, if anything, does.
Sooners win the face-off, although it goes all the way back to BCB. Bassett has to chase fast after it. Arizona was pressuring heavily. Nate Payne, long pass over to Mondu. That one also goes well wide off his stick. Puck bounces in, Bassett collects. Swung around, Tristan Davison looking to pester. Two Sooners after it. Mondu takes a check. Davison gives one. And now here comes Blake Swearingen. Net front activity happening. Sooners able to shut that down pretty well. And here's a 2-on-2 for Oklahoma. Mondu trying to make a couple of nice moves. Couldn't break through. Connor Horn got a piece of that, so no icing for the Sooners. Arizona makes a full sail change. Nate Payne just has to dump it in, get off. Now Jacob DuPont chasing after it with Tristan Glass. Puck played all the way down to Connor Horn. We'll see what the Sooners can do here if they try to get in offensively as that puck bounces up and into the penalty box.
Gave us a little bit of a fright up here. These
past
few weekends had a few pucks coming right towards us and a little bit of a scare to raise the heart rate if you're getting tired back at home.
Definitely last weekend with the Utah game. Thankfully, that stanchion that's above us gives us about, let's see, 7 feet of grace above the penalty box of where our lower extremities are not going to be impacted by a flying puck, but anything waist and above is fair game here at Arctic Edge for us, and so is the camera equipment as well, unfortunately. But if you have a quick reaction time, should be able to get a paw in front of it or stop it from doing too much damage. Tristan Glass and DuPont firing it with it now. Here comes Jacob DuPont. Puck bounces up. DuPont took a swing at it. Other way goes Arizona. They flip it in, get a change for themselves. Just a little north of 5 minutes left in this first period. Sooners trail 1-0. Mondu tries to play down with his glove. He does. Onside. Mondu rips a shot, goes over the net. Now Aaron Best collects. He shoots, goes wide. Mondu circles, surveys options, plays it back to Kagan. He rips one looking for a tip, just a little too high. Fodrell had a good look at it. Now Connor Horn battles along the end boards. Big presence of Sooner fans in that corner as Mondu comes away with it, rips one on a goal, no problem, and Fodrell takes a shot in the back. You really talk about what the refs are allowing as Mondu's in an entanglement. Penalties are going to need to be called, otherwise this is going to get out of hand. And obviously we say this from an unbiased perspective, call it both ways, but something's got to happen in terms of the officials' discipline decisions. Otherwise, it's going to be a result you don't want to see for either team.
Exactly, and of course as hockey fans, us up here in the booth and you guys watching at home, of course we're all accustomed to maybe enjoying a little fight between, but at the same time want to make sure that all the players are safe. No one goes home with any unnecessary injuries or bumps or bruises, and you wouldn't want to see fighting be the cause of that.
Glass loses the face-off. Arizona comes away with it. Bells took a tumble. Good job there by the Sooners forcing that turnover in the neutral zone. Arizona's forced to flip it all the way up. Should be an offensive zone faceoff for Oklahoma. They're going to put it at center ice, though.
We spoke a few moments ago about that section of Sooner fans in the corner. It looks like to be a little bit of a makeshift Sooner section, and we've got a good plethora of jerseys over there. Vegas Golden Knights, Dallas Stars, of course, even a Oklahoma Sooners jersey and some other ones that I can't quite decipher.
Looks like maybe a
Winnipeg
USA
Jets,
Hockey.
USA
We have a
Hockey.
Columbus Blue Jackets jersey in there. As Levasseur gets entangled with a Wildcat, Bells lays a hit of himself. Porter Wolk trying to clear it forward. Shot blockered off by BCB. Easily as Bells just tabletops a Wildcat there. Carson Glass gets hit. Swearingen hits a man. I'm going to call this about 50 times tonight. Shot from the point blocked by Porter Wolk. Good job there by the Sooner forward, get in front of that. Blake Swearingen pestering hard. And Levasseur in behind his own net. Fights along the end boards. Puck dances and hops over the blue line. Arizona has to touch up. Wildcats make an entry. Picked off by Tristan Glass. Now Cavalcanti has a 2-on-1 here with Jacob DuPont. Cavalcanti rips one just wide. Yeah, Jacob DuPont on the wing for an option. Elected to shoot instead. And that was a good look there for the Sooners. It's been quite some time as we got just about 3 minutes left here in this first period. Long stretch pass. I hit something. Icing waved off. Cavalcanti trying to pinch the zone. McDonald recovers at center ice. Giveaway there as the pass just misses the toe of the stick. McDonald goes in with his man hard on the boards. Arizona down behind their net, centering feed. Good job there. Let's see who it was. Jacob DuPont on the defensive aspects of things. That was a great save by BCB. Hard to tell what led to that, but Arizona still maintains puck possession as Tristan Glass just laid an absolute shoulder into Will Josephson. So that'll be the Wildcats' first penalty of the night. Tristan Glass will be going into the box for the second time if the Sooners can touch up, and they do. It's going to be 2 minutes for an elbow. So there's your first disciplinary penalty of the night, as we talked about.
Yeah, one of the senior leaders on this Sooner team. An unfortunate mistake. And last time when both teams were on the 4-on-4, Arizona was able to get off to a hot start. So now that the Sooners are at the man disadvantage, they're going to want to clear the puck out of the zone as quick as possible. 2:07 left, so the penalty will expire within this period. They're going to want to kill that momentum.
Sooners will take it as a moral victory if they can escape this period with just a 1-0 deficit. Having some face-off issues.
So Hughes, another Hughes from New Jersey. Never mind, he's been switched out for Riley Ruh.
Riley Ruh, the most recent goal scorer, wins the face-off back to Arizona. Played at the point, held it at the blue line, shot, looking for a tip, rebound in front of BCB. And Nate Payne comes away with it. Puck cleared by Nate Payne. Good job there by the Sooner forward. And now the other way go the Wildcats. Good job there again by Nate Payne defensively. Arizona getting things going offensively, or at least they're trying to. Having some issues themselves in the neutral zone. Ice is starting to get a little choppier here towards the end of this first period, so that's leading to a lot of these miscues by both sides. Long pass there. Hit the skate of Connor Horn. Fight along the end boards there. Horn battling with 3 Wildcat players. The rest of the Sooners are trying to clog those passing lanes. Puck played back to the point. Shot blocked. One-timer blocked by Alex Kagan. He's in some pain. One of the best Sooners defensemen got in front of that. Took it right off the ankle, it appears. Skating off his own ability, but that won't tickle. That was a howitzer from the point. And the Sooners have killed a minute and some change on this power play.
And talk about Kagan being such a defensive presence at 6'4", 185 pounds, the freshman, another one of these younger freshman leaders for the Sooners that they are so lucky to have this season.
Another one-time shot goes well wide. Puck kept in. Swearingen does a good job aggressively clearing that puck. Now just 15 seconds left on that power play for Arizona. Called against Tristan Glass for elbowing. Puck dumped in. Best chases after it. Power play starting to expire. Carson Glass will collect for the Sooners. Play it down. McDonald after it, and that will do it for the first period. Arizona gets a breakaway chance. Riley Rudd, the goal scorer for the Wildcats, and that's how we end this first period. Sooners trail 1-0. Don't go any. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, I think the Sooners feel maybe a little bit lucky to end that first period only down 1 goal. It looked like there were a lot of opportunities given to Arizona to score some easy ones, but also that's why you have BCB in net for the Sooners, such a strong presence and able to clean up some of those smaller mistakes.
I even think on that Riley Rudd goal, he'd like to have that back because he usually gets those blocker saves, and that one just kind of slipped in between that crack between the right pad and then the lower blocker for him. The Sooners definitely feel like they can beat this team. We feel like they could probably beat this team pretty easily. It's just a matter of them finding their rhythm, them being able to create in the neutral zone. We talk about that all the time. When teams dump and chase, it's really hard. You're kind of banking on puck luck a little bit to get your offensive zone chances, and so when they're able to create offensive zone rushes from the neutral zone, that's really where they can do most of their damage.
Exactly, and right now as we see Tristan Glass, one of the assistant captains, speaking to the rest right now, maybe wanting some clarification on those penalties. You can't help but also feel that maybe the Sooners feel a little disadvantaged by those. It's been kind of unclear what the grounds are for penalty early on. We've seen pushing and shoving and a whole bunch of extracurriculars that haven't been called, but some other plays that might be deemed as smaller and maybe less detrimental to the game being called in penalties, and Tristan Glass has taken both of those for the Sooners so far, so maybe wanting to clean up that play, but also a little bit difficult to discern what maybe is going wrong.
We will see what the Sooners respond with in the second period. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back,
apologize
Sooner fans, as
for
Alex
the-
Kagan just got hit up high. It's going to lead to a penalty here. Hope he's okay.
We apologize for the slight delay. There were some technical difficulties impacting our audio.
Extremely dirty hit by number 9, Justin Hughes. I nearly called him Jackie.
Another Hughes from
Yeah.
New Jersey.
So we will get the Sooners' first look on the power play. John Baird out there to take the face-off. So Arizona capitalize on theirs. We'll see what the Sooners can do with theirs. Goldstein holds it over to Carlisle. Back to Goldstein. One-time shot from Fodrell. Oh, and it caught a piece. He's been such a weapon with that one-timer right around the face-off dot all season long. That one didn't get much elevation on it and stayed just low enough for Gold to be able to do something with it. Now leading the rush is Jackson Fodrell. Loses the puck for a moment. Brian Erickson chasing after it with no stick. Calling for one. Or just calling to get off the ice, rather. They don't have equipment managers here like they do in the NHL, or you can get your stick handed to you right after you lose it. But nonetheless, Owen Carlisle takes a hit in the boards. Puck played around and cleared. Fodrell can't get there in time. And halfway through this power play for the Sooners, Jackson Fodrell with that lone chance nearly immediately after the start of it. Mondu surveys through the neutral zone, just elects to take it on his backhand and loses it. Davison has to race after it and takes a stick up high. Owen Vilhauer, the offender on that. Now the Sooners with 30 seconds left. What can they do? Benjamin Mondu on his forehand. Shot was blocked. Puck held in. Mondu with it. Rips one over the net. Kagan back on the ice. Good to see him there. Couldn't get a stick on that rebound, and should be the last chance for the Sooners. Mondu takes a whack. Now gets on his horse, dumps it in, gets taken down away from the puck. Gold plays it back to the Wildcat forward. Dylan Walker wrists one. Kagan there to block it away for the Sooners. Puck nearly left the ice for a face-off now. Shot blocked by Davison. Rebound and a goal. Hard to tell what happened. Brandon Culbertson Bond so good at what he does, keeping that puck out of the danger area, but that's going to be Nicholas Chioka, I believe, for Arizona with that goal. And instead of the Sooners cashing in on their power play shortly after it expires, Arizona goes up 2-0.
And it looked like the Sooners and Brendan Culbertson Bond specifically had control of that off the rebound, but unfortunately, great timing there by the Wildcats to peek that one through. And it's 2-0 early in this second period.
Not the start the Sooners wanted to this middle frame. Here's Carson Glass, looks to take this face off. One by Chioka. Bells tied up with Swearingen along the boards. Puck not being budged, and now it just does come free, only to be held up again. Bells goes down. Carson Glass comes away with it, just trying to dump it in on his backhand. Can't. Bells, as he's going to get called for a penalty. Really not what the Sooners wanted, as a high stick called against the Sooner rookie.
Yeah, something that the Sooners are going to want to clean up on. Penalties now from both their veterans and their rookies on this squad, and especially after giving up what could have been an avoided goal early on. Not exactly one to head back to the power penalty kill.
Riley Ruh, Dylan Walker, Justin Hughes, the forwards out there for Arizona on this power play. Puck played back to the point. One-time shot blockered away by BCB. Played into the corner, cleared by Connor Horn. Good job there by the Sooners. Arizona 0 for 1 on their power play. towards the end of the first period. Horn does a good job pressuring. Porter Wolk nearly had a break. Now the other way goes Arizona. Chioka. Wrist one, and it scores! Another quick goal there. Nicholas Chioka has 2 on the night. And the Arizona Wildcats cash in on that power play. And just like that, the Sooners are in trouble.
Yeah, and you can kind of tell the shift in momentum because normally the Sooners don't give up goals like that seem to be trickling in so easily right now, especially at the hands of Brendan Culbertson-Bond in net for the Sooners. But down in a hurry in this second period. 3-0 already off of 2 goals from Chioka.
Colton Lavasser has left the rink. Can't tell if, doesn't seem to be an injury issue. He walked off there just fine. It might be an equipment issue as Oklahoma's going to take a timeout, and we're going to get some time to discuss kind of what's been happening for the Sooners. It just seems like a lot of unfortunate puck bounces and misplayed opportunities has kind of led to these opportunities, and meanwhile on the other side of things, they're not really creating offensively.
Exactly, yeah, for the Sooners. It almost seems a little, these goals haven't come in grandiose fashion, you know, all credit, of course, to the Wildcats, but it's not, they haven't been anything spectacular, out of the ordinary, really, to stop, and it just seems like the Sooners have kind of maybe fallen apart a little bit on the defense in front of their netminder there to create such opportunities and giving them up back-to-back with the penalty, of course, on Bells.
And rarely does BCB get beat twice from shots from a little bit of distance. He usually covers most of the net pretty well and had clear lanes on both of them to see around for where the puck was going to end up, and ends up just getting beat both times. And then that rebound goal for Chioka, the first of the period. Hard to tell from our angle on what happened on that, but
exactly, and you can also tell from the lopsided shot counter, 12 shots in favor of Arizona, 4 for the Sooners, not really creating many chances for themselves, and of course they have to stop this onslaught of goals from the Wildcats, but also if they want to catch up, they're going to have to score some of their own, and they haven't really given themselves many opportunities to do that so far. Defensively
at this point in the game, the Sooners, I think, would be happy with 12 shots from kind of what they're used to. They're usually giving up 25 at this point in the game, and if not more. To get an icing here against Arizona. So things defensively on paper looking all right for the Sooners, but that's not always how that works in the goal department of things. And we'll see what the Sooners can do with this offensive zone faceoff. Carlisle, Best, Fodrell, and McDonald and Bassett out there for the Sooners.
Have some of the team leaders in goals scored so far early on in this season. You're going to want to see them get some more opportunities as Carlisle having a little bit of a scrum there on the faceoff dot.
Fodrell comes away with it in the neutral zone, loses the puck. Wildcats play it forward. Lockton Gibson dumps it in. Bassett gets stapled. Arizona, it's a good look there. McDonald and behind the net. Carson Bassett giving some shoves in front of BCB. McDonald plays it over to Fodrell. Puck dumped in. Bassett gets held up. Got his elbow caught and wasn't able to get around to the puck. Now one-time shot blocked by Aaron Best. Good job there by the center forward. Best comes away with it. Looking to spring forward Fodrell, who was knocked down. And towards the end of his shift, Jackson Fodrell is not going to have as much speed as he normally would have to chase after that. He still ends up coming away with the puck. Now here's Mondu. Centering feed for Payne, who gets shoved. Shot from the point, gets blocked. And the other way go the Wildcats. So a good chance there, all created by the Sooner rookie Jackson Fodrell. There's a reason why he's always usually on the score sheet. Tristan Davison has to enter the zone solo for a moment, holds up, gets checked. Mondu delivers a hit. And the other way go the Wildcats. Puck hits the shins of Swearingen. Collected by Mondu. Now Goldstein has to do something with it. Ended up going back to Arizona. Shot blocked by Nate Payne. Sooners have had a lot of block shots. Both teams have had a lot of block shots this game so far. And a testament to where that stands is it's only 13-5, so 18 total shots make that 19 for both teams combined in this second period. Definitely one of the lighter numbers we've seen this season so far. As that pass is sprung forward for Arizona. Good job there by Goldstein breaking that up. Sooner crowd trying to get their team riled up here. Cavalcanti dances around a man, plays the bouncing puck for a centering feed. Horn's going to come away with it. Dump it on his backhand. And the other way go the Wildcats. Bill Hauer, centering feed, and a good job there by Alex Kagan blocking that. As DuPont gets taken down from behind, we're going to get another penalty here in this game. This time it's going against the Wildcats, most likely for a trip. Cavalcanti stays onside. Now here's DuPont. Wrist one off the crossbar. So close with the extra attacker out there. Here come the Sooners again. Puck dumped in, touched up. DuPont so close to finding the back of the net. You can hear that ping. Owen Billhauer getting that tripping penalty. Tristan Glass this time, the one who's been in the sin bin most of the time for the Sooners, drawing the penalty himself.
For the Sooners, that late surge of momentum is exactly what they'll want going into the power play, of course, but need to create some more opportunities for themselves. They haven't been able to do it so far in the game on even strength, looking to get some with the man advantage.
Owen Carlisle wins the faceoff for Oklahoma. Goldstein holds at the blue line. Down low to Carlisle, back to Goldstein, back to Carlisle. Wrist one off the faceoff dot, hits a body. Fodrell with it now. Drop pass to Tristan Glass. Over to Fodrell. Carlisle back to Goldstein at the point. Rips one, tip! Goes just wide, Aaron Best. Got a stick on it. Goldstein swings it over to Owen Carlisle. He's got space. Back to Fodrell. Wrist one, blocked. Tristan Glass again. Back to Goldstein. Sooners possessing. Carlisle fakes a shot, makes a move, dumps it back to Glass. Down low, Best. Goldstein over to Carlisle. Down to Best. Centering feed, blocked. Puck held in by Goldstein. Pressure here from Oklahoma. Fodrell rips one, tipped. Rebound, scores! Tristan Glass cleans up the dirty laundry, and the Sooners cash in on the power play. Who else but Tristan Glass?
A great opportunity there by the Sooners. Some chaos in front of the net, comes up on the side and sneaks it right past between the goalie and the post. And a little bit of damage control and repairs for the two penalties he took early on in the first period to get the first one on the score sheet for the Sooners. What a great goal for the Sooners, and they're right back in it now.
It couldn't have come at a more opportune time. Almost halfway through this game now. And Tristan Glass just always finds a way. Sometimes without a glove. He prefers to have both of them. Tonight he did with that most recent goal.
And that's how he earned that A on his jersey. Always doing so much for this team to build this program to get them where they are today. And that's why he's one of the senior leaders on this squad.
Hayden Gold had been near perfect in this game with his rebound control and everything else in that aspect. He was able to fight off. That was probably the best I have ever seen the Sooners set up for a power play chance, and they were rewarded with it. As Arizona just keeps dumping in. And we highlighted it from an analysis standpoint. The Sooners just create so much more when they're able to enter the zone cleanly without having to dump and chase after it. That's the case for most teams. In rare instances, it works. And that's what the Sooners were doing on that power play. Once the puck exited the zone, it always was a Sooner forward to come in with it cleanly. And that's what leads to goal-scoring opportunities. This night, here's Mondu trying to dance around a man. puck down all the way to BCB and an icing there against Arizona. They've done that a little bit now after that most recent goal.
You talk about the clean entry into the offensive zone for the Sooners, and it really gives them, as well as most other teams, the opportunity to take a step back, breathe, and really plan out how they want to take their shots rather than just firing off as possible. And we saw that worked a little bit chippy and scrappy there at the front from Tristan Glass, but those continual clean entries into the zone were really helpful to being able to set up that shot.
Fodrell takes the faceoff from Carlisle. Centering feed. Puck unable to stay in the zone for the Sooners. They have to touch up here. McDonald flings it forward. Takes a bounce, and here goes Jackson Fodrell. Rips a shot, blockered away by Gold. It's a good look. Best. Pops it up. Collected by the Sooners. Goldstein flings it in. No icing. Best picking up himself a check there. McDonald on a bouncing puck. Loses it. Now Arizona comes away with it. Centering feed out front went wide. So you heard a profound word used there. We apologize. Tight angle shot. No problem there. Didn't even get near the net. Arizona trying to respond with a goal of their own. McDonald gets hit hard in a reverse check off the puck. Lays in a retaliation check to the like of the Sooner crowd here. Little makeshift student section. And now an odd man rush here for Arizona. Shot, glove save, BCB! Are you kidding me?
And the fans love that one. An incredible save by BCB. That's the goaltender we know who set the record for most wins by a goaltender in OU hockey history. An incredible save.
Owen Vilhauer, I thought he was going to go blocker side on BCB on that break and opted for the glove side shot when BCB came out of his crease, played that well, and a pivotal save here in this stature of the game. Bassett ends up coming away with it. Swearingen takes a mitt to the face. It's not going to do too much damage on the 6'4" defenseman. Gold has been sharp all night in net. Look out. That one blocked by the rafters and the UCO banners. The only time I'll thank that for being up there. As I was saying, Gold is doing a really good job playing the puck behind his net on those dump-ins by Oklahoma, and that's half the reason why it hasn't really been working for the Sooners as much as it has in the past, is he's just played the puck really well and smartly in the good spots.
Exactly, yeah, really able to control kind of what happens when the Sooners come into their own zone, not giving them the opportunity to get many shots.
Mondu wins the face-off, plays a weak backhand, puck frozen. Davison trying to chase after it, a scrappy little play there by the sophomore forward, who sprung into action last spring for the Sooners, scoring goals by the dozen, it seemed, towards the later half of the back of that season. Then a little quieter of a start for him this one, as he looks to get his feet under him. Payne trying to clear, kept in. Bassett eventually does the deed. Culbertson Bond plays it behind his net. Swearingen shovels it forward. Now Mondu. Getting pestered hard on his backhand. Mondu goes down. Careful for no retaliation here, Benny. Don't do it, Benny. Now a breakaway here for Arizona. That puck sailed 50 feet over the net. That might have been one of the worst shots I've ever seen on a breakaway. That wasn't anywhere near the net. We were caught up with Mondu kind of giving some punches or love taps, if you would, to a Wildcat player. No retaliation penalty called on that one, as that's been able to go on throughout the night.
Yeah, the refs don't seem to be too strict on those plays, at least throughout these first two periods of play. But an interesting shot choice by the Wildcats, maybe hoping that the rest of the Sooners were also distracted by the scrum that Ben Mondu was in, one of the leaders in goals last season for the team, now a sophomore, looking to continue that this season.
shot from the point. Hit a body. Now another one hits another body. Connor Horn, good block there by the Sooner defenseman. If you want a rowdy student section, just get 30 frat boys in Arctic Edge and you'll have yourself a crowd.
Exactly. Many of them, I'm sure, close friends with the Sooner hockey players themselves, many of which are involved in Greek life here on campus. The great Friday night after Halloween, before the football game against Maine tomorrow, which the Sooners hope will be an easy win, despite an onslaught of SEC losses. And a win tonight for the Sooners here against the Wildcats would definitely help bring up the energy going into tomorrow. An early kickoff changed due to the rain.
A win would be great for the Sooners, as well as evading whatever dangerous weather that is supposed to happen tomorrow, which pushed back that football game time to 11 a.m. So if you do plan on going to that, make sure you stay safe and stay weather aware. It is Oklahoma. Doesn't matter what time of the year it is.
Exactly. These streets in Norman with the rain, we're expected to get are prone to flooding. So be sure to keep a lookout for that if you're traveling down to Memorial Stadium tomorrow.
Arizona's done a good job of trying to get some sort of response post Tristan Glass goal. Stretch pass, tipped, played in Glass. Took a bad bounce and evaded the icing call. Fortunate mound of ice right there on the red line stopped that from an icing. Slowed it up just enough. Bells plays a good check there. Goldstein lobs it in. The other way go the Wildcats. Carell plays it in. BCB just holds it. Where's the whistle? There it is. About time. I don't know what the delay was for the whistle. BCB had it in his glove for about 5 seconds. And, oh well.
Yeah, an interesting call, and we can definitely see as the second period has progressed, the tempo of this game has definitely jumped up a lot. A little bit of a slower start between the two teams early on, but now especially Arizona, after giving up that goal, they want to continue to increase the pad they have, the lead they have. They're trying to do that now, but the Sooner defense has been great. And we spoke earlier, it wasn't really the Sooner defense that was too many of the issues leading up to the goals. A few unfortunate bounces in for BCB.
Puck played down by Goldstein. No icing, but the Wildcats possess for a moment. Poked away by Josh Bells. Looking for a centering feed. Oh, and it just evades the stick of Carson Glass. Maybe a little too much mustard on that from an ambitious Josh Bells after he did a great job poking that puck free. Wildcats enter. Drop pass. Shot. Played in on BCB. Rebounds loose. BCB gets up in time. Good job there by the Sooner defenseman cleaning that puck up. Best plays it forward to Fodril. Still won't have enough for icing. Fodril has it now, poked away. Puck rimmed around the boards. Now the other way goes Arizona. Walker, shot, scores! BCB gets beat again, low blocker side. And with 5:48 left in the second period, Arizona regains that 3-goal lead that the Sooners had worked so hard to try to erase.
It felt like that was coming sooner or later. Thought it would be on the previous possession before the Sooners got it back in their own zone, where there seemed to be a little bit of chaos in front of the net, but BCB was able to right himself, and no further shots were taken by the Wildcats. But an unfortunate break here for the Sooners, and it seems like it started to kind of fall apart in the second period. Able to get one back, only a 3-goal deficit, and we spoke about on Utah, perhaps commentators curse, a 3-goal lead is never a safe lead. But with the way things are going right now for Arizona and the speed at which they jumped out on with the second period, it's going to be a tall hill to climb for the Sooners to get back in it.
We'll see what the Sooners can do. That power play goal from Tristan Glass, definitely the best opportunity for them is a hit by Davison, who we don't really call too often on those, as another hit by Horn. You got barbecue back there. You got smoked. Here we go. Horn and Mondu going at it. We'll see if the gloves get dropped. One's loose. It was only a matter of time before this happened.
And we are going to see how the officials decide to score this number 16 for Arizona going into the sin bin. And it looks like Mondu is going to be brought to the penalty box as well, trying to skate his way off, but the official grabbed his stick to pull him in. And the Arizona coaches are pleading their case for some more penalties on the Sooners.
Absolute chaos. Oh my goodness.
This is the most interesting exchange I have seen in Arctic Edge in terms of fights, and that's definitely got the crowd back in it. A chance of Boomer Sooner can be heard. I'm sure our makeshift student section loved that, and now.
So we'll see what the discussion is. Mondu is going to take a seat. Horn was also in on that action. And for Arizona, as Dylan Walker, the most recent goal scorer, who's taken the seat for the Wildcats.
And it looks like Swearingen and Nate Painter pleading their case to the officials. It
all started with a couple of hits. Davison had one, and then Connor Horn with one of the nastiest open ice hits I have ever seen on this ice. And then whatever happened after that, we were looking behind the play. Puck went in front of the Arizona bench, and then it kind of Oklahoma's going to have a 2-minute power play out of
Number
this.
16 for Arizona, 4 minutes on that penalty. Benjamin Mondu only 2, so this will put the Sooners on the advantage yet again.
We must have really missed something that happened below us.
Focused on that hit by Connor Horn in the Sooners' offensive zone as things were moving along down the ice.
It's Ann Rossi coming to the box for Arizona for that other penalty against the Wildcats.
So mayhaps not a 4-minute penalty for the Wildcats, but 2 separate 2-minute penalties.
And then an additional, two offsetting roughing minors, and then an additional roughing minor on Arizona will lead to another power play for the Sooners.
Exactly, yes.
That is the outcome of all of that. And that's certainly how you light a fire under your team and get them riled up to try to make a comeback here. And you and I emphasize this for the sanctity of player safety, that the referees needed to get a handle of this before something happened, and they didn't, and something happened.
Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt in the process, but the Sooners are going to look to capitalize on this power play opportunity early on.
Goldstein, quarterback in the power play, plays it over to Carlisle, back to Goldstein. One-time shot, Fodrell wide of the net, puck loose in front. Tristan Glass looking for another rebound there, couldn't get it. Best takes a shot.
And the refs once again having to split things up. If I'm both teams, of course Arizona with a 3-goal lead has a little bit more leeway, but if I'm the coaches on either team, I'm making sure my players are staying in check, don't want any more additional penalties to create an even more dire situation. Or a 4-on-3, excuse me. 4-on-4, or 4-on-2, I would say, for the Sooners.
Even though that shot for Fodrell was wide of the net, it still allowed for a decent chance on the rebound there. Goldstein has to chase after it, pressing hard. Here's Brian Greason. Goldstein behind the net for the Sooners. Drops it back for Fodrell. Played over to Carlisle. On the backhand saucer pass, a beautiful one to Fodrell as he makes a couple moves. Fodrell on his forehand, protects the puck cleanly. Plays it back for Carlisle. Sooners trying to look for spacing here. Carlisle rips a shot, tipped on goal, rebound not there. Another offensive zone faceoff, this time to the right of the Wildcat netminder. Just over a minute left on this Sooner power play.
Nothing too great being set up right early on from the Sooners. Of course, a few shots got off there, but not exactly what they wanted. Doesn't seem like they're able to get as many opportunities. A great job from the Wildcat defense to kind of interrupt their setups.
Carlisle rips a shot. Glove saved by Gold. Goldstein. He rips one looking for a tip. Gloved in by Gold again. Just a couple quick looks. Sooners haven't seen them get too many tip-ins for goals or deflections for goals, but man, do they try, and you got to love it and respect it. It's one of the more underrated ways to score, especially on power plays, just getting the body in front of the net.
Exactly. It shows to the grit that this team has But right now, Gold's done a great job of really keeping those rebounds under wraps and not really giving the Sooners a chance to try to get one of those goals.
Kagan, drop pass. For Wolk, now Nate Payne. Nate Payne has some speed. Loses the puck for a moment. Shovels it all the way over to Porter Wolk. Trying to hold it in. Davison gets caught up. Now Nate Payne tries to muscle a shot in there as a Wildcat player is just going after. Can't tell who that is on the ice. Tristan Davison, that is. So Arizona's going to kill off this power play for the Sooners. Couple of good looks, as we saw again, but unfortunately no goals to show for. DuPont pressuring, forechecking, Davison as well. Shot ripped, blocker saved by BCB. Goes over to the net. Kagan knocks down his man. Shot from the point, blocked by Bells. The other one goes wide of the net. Now Arizona controlling for the moment as Davison comes away with it, trying to play it forward to Cavalcanti. Sooners cough up the puck. Swearingen tips it at the blue line. Kagan on his backhand lobs one down there, which will turn into an icing. So Sooners just trying to get that 2-goal lead back, or 2-goal deficit, or trying to get the 3-goal deficit down to a 2-goal deficit before the final frame. They would like to have a little less pressure on their backs.
Exactly, especially going into that third period. Want to try to lighten the load from themselves, have even things up almost shot-wise. Now only 18-12 in favor of the Wildcats, not given many opportunities for the Wildcats so far, despite the amount of goals that they've scored in this second period, scoring 3 of them. Wanting to heat things up on offense, unfortunately haven't seen much tonight, apart from that goal from Tristan Glass that we saw come early on in this second period.
Puck played in. Arizona not able to hold the line. They touch up. Kagan just trying to get it out, and he does. This time without an icing, so the Sooners will look for a change here when the time is right. Puck whistled in on BCB, and they will be able to get that change. Cavalcanti exchanging some words.
Apologize for any language you might have overheard.
That was the linesman. That wasn't even coming from the Wildcat bench. That was the linesman warning the both players out of that exchange, Cavalcanti, and I couldn't tell who it was for the Wildcats. But
yeah, but it seems that the penalties, whether they're dished out or not, have not deterred the players from either team to really stop. So we're trying to see who will enter the face-off dot for the Wildcats. It'll be Glass for the Sooners.
Shot from the point, swept up by Goldstein. Sooners come away with it. Tristan Glass uses the puck for a moment in neutral zone and takes down a man. What a hit by Tristan Glass. DuPont, as McDonald takes a hit and then gives a slash to a Wildcat. Puck rims around the boards all the way down. They're not going to say it's icing, so McDonald has to go after it. Now the other way for the Sooners, Aaron Best. Carlisle, Fodrell, rips a shot, blockered away by Gold. Puck sprung forward for Arizona. Shot, rebound. BCB saves both. Now behind the net, centering feed. Goes wide. Aaron Best again on the rush. Plays it off the boards. Trying to get it over to Carlisle. Arizona flips it. Kagan plays it down with the glove. Gets hit into the Sooner bench, and now a breakaway here for Arizona. Centering feed. Good job there by the Sooners to block that. That was Aaron Best going down on all fours to save that cross crease pass. No icing here. Mondu chases after it. Just 15 seconds left in the middle frame. Sooners just trying to hold it away from their own net. And that will do it for this second period. Arizona Wildcats lead your Oklahoma Sooners 4-1.
Unfortunate, a gorgeous series of passes there, sequence between some of the freshmen, Best, Fodrell, and Carlisle, but unfortunately didn't lead to anything. Gave an opportunity for the Wildcats, not able to capitalize on it, but they have capitalized on a lot of these opportunities late here in this second period. 2 goals by number 16 on the Wildcats to add on to that tally for the Sooners. And it's starting to feel like a little bit of pressure is going to be up next for the Sooners to kind of even up that goal tally.
So we will provide a second intermission report to you, brought to you by Willie Baird, who's going to be joining us in the booth. He did some color commentary for us last Thursday against Utah, and we appreciated his presence and insight, so we will get him to share his thoughts. But we will leave you momentarily. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Sooner fans. I'm here sat alongside Willie Bear, the senior forward. Sooners ran into a little bit of trouble early on in that second frame and then cashed in on a power play goal, and then quickly after that let in another one. Willie, what's your analysis on that period?
They're obviously getting a lot more shots than we are right now and a lot more pressure in the O-zone. I see them also playing a lot more physical than we are right now. Obviously, we've taken some bad penalties, and they've capitalized.
In terms of physicality, we mentioned it on the broadcast many times. This is probably one of the most physical games I've seen here at Arctic Edge since my time doing this. In your eyes, kind of what's been the genesis of all this? Where's the beef? Where's the hate coming from?
I got to say the refs. The refs are letting a lot go, and there's been a couple, I don't want to say cheap shots.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of shots that have been fired by both teams. I would say more Arizona. Arizona's obviously been the more physical team, in my opinion. And they have continued to keep a strong pressure on our team being physical, creating that haste towards each other.
Yeah, and Amy and I talked about it probably 5 minutes into the first period about how the referees were letting a lot go in terms of disciplinary penalties that probably should have been called in order to suppress the amount of chances that were happening, not goal-scoring chances rather, but hit checks and shots and slashes that kind of just kept coming up. And then the climax of all that was in the second period when Connor Horn and Mondu got in it on the bench. It was tough to tell. Horn had that open ice hit, which obviously led to some anger, but I didn't know if you got a good look at it, what happened in front of the Arizona bench.
What I saw, I'm over in the opposite corner, so I really didn't see a lot, but what I saw is that the Arizona player dropped his glove. I only saw one glove. I didn't see two. Two's an automatic suspension. He would be kicked out of the game automatically. But it looked like he dropped one glove and then just jumped Horn from behind or in front. I really couldn't tell either. The refs obviously didn't, I wouldn't say take care of it properly with leaving the player in the game. Up to the ref's discretion. Me personally, you drop a glove, that's like you're dropping the gloves.
Yeah.
You're going. So that is an automatic
Don't drop
kick
one
out.
if you're not going to drop two.
Yeah,
So,
well, and, we're wearing cages. What's the point of fighting with no glove on and when you're wearing a
It's like when
cage?
NFL players will try to punch each other with full-on helmets. It's just like
I don't see the point of fighting with a cage. If you're going to take the cage off, I remember the clip of Colorado State playing UCO.
Yep.
The guy came off the bench, took his helmet off, and fought the guy in the middle of the ice. So if you're going to do it, you got to do it properly. And yeah, that was I don't even know what to call it, man. It looked silly. It was silly, and I think the refs handled it improperly as well.
So with that broken down, what do you think Coach is saying to the guys in the locker room right now? Obviously down 3 goals. Haven't probably played their best hockey so far this season, but have the chance to tie it up. I mean, 20 minutes is a lot of time.
20 minutes is a lot of time, and 3 goals is it's a strong lead, but it's not the best lead.
Yep.
And I would say Coach is definitely in there telling them, you got to get shots on net. He's definitely yelling at them about our O-zone and our forecheck. And we'll see what we can do. I really believe that it's really going to be up to these first 5 minutes. We have to get a goal in these first 5 minutes. The first and last 5 minutes of each period are the most important, and this is going to be the most important 5 minutes of this game is the first 5 minutes. We need to score a goal.
We saw a 3-goal lead get erased in this building last Thursday. It was Utah who came out firing in the start of that third period in the final frame with some power play help, but they were able to do it and for a moment tie the game until Adam Goldstein responded. This time it's going to be the Sooners that have to do the same. So we will see what happens at the start of the third period. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back momentarily. back, Sooner fans, as we have the start of this third period, and it is upon us. You heard your analysis from senior forward Willie Baird and what he thought the Sooners needed to do. Goals, the first 5 and the last 5 are the most important of the period, and that's what the Sooners will look to do.
A little bit of a steep hill to climb for them in this third period, but 20 minutes to do it, and stranger things have happened at Arctic Edge Ice Arena here in Edmond than coming back from a 3-goal deficit.
It would be a huge win for the Wildcats if they're able to knock out a top 10 team in the ACHA standings, as that would jump their rankings up quite a bit. Aaron Best looks to get us started. A couple of bad turnovers there in the neutral zone. Wildcats possessed defensively. Turned over though, Fodrell has it. Tried to play it back for Best. Turned over, now the other way go the Wildcats. 2-on-1 here for Arizona. Shot blocked, rebound. Oh, and what a save by Culbertson Bond! Rebound for Arizona, puck's loose, cleared away. Are you kidding me? That's how you start a period if you're a netminder.
Exactly, a great way to give the momentum back to the Sooners. A shot trickled out there, opportunity, but Brendan Culbertson Bond was right on that rebound. Then the puck was cleared. Able to kind of halt what would put the Sooners in a position that you would start to think that there's no chance of coming back down 4 goals.
Owen Carlisle to take the face-off. His dance partner, Riley Raw, the first goal scorer of this game. Puck shoveled all the way down in the offensive zone for the Sooners. Chioka plays it forward. Raw dumps it in for Arizona. Puck in behind BCB. Kagan pestering. Held it at the blue line. Kagan lays a hit. Whiff on a chance there for Arizona. So they're just trying to possess the puck here. They would appreciate another goal most likely and obviously, however, they have to be careful with how they handle their chances to not allow an odd man rush for the Sooners. And speaking of odd man rushes, as that puck's turned over there by Davison. The other way go the Sooners, Mondu. Pops it up. We saw the Sooners score most of their goals last year on those odd man rushes, and this year, not as much, but you could say better talent offensively for the Sooners this year, but not as many odd man rushes as we saw last year. It was nearly like 5 or 6 a game, if not more than that.
Exactly, and I think the thing about that Sooners team was last year they had such a great advantage in terms of speed, and while they still have that, it seems like a lot of the opponents they're facing this season are able to keep up with it. We saw that in the last game versus Utah and this game early on against Arizona.
Puck played by a hand pass. Friendly fire on the bench there as that was Carter Hannaran slapping a fellow Wildcat on the bench with his stick up in the helmet. That's why you wear helmets. Tristan Glass wins the face-off to McDonald. Puck flipped down. Gold plays it behind his net. DuPont trying to forecheck. Cavalcanti lays a hit himself. Goldstein playing the body, not the puck, turns it over. Shot from a tight angle, goes wide, hits something. Dumped down low. Tristan Glass, the lone goal scorer for the Sooners. Trying to clear the zone. Shot from distance and gloved in by Culbertson Bond as the aggression picks right back up where it's left off with Josh McDonald.
Exactly, and you're going to want to be careful if you're the Sooners. The Wildcats have looked great tonight on the power play. You don't want to give them some more opportunities to increase this lead.
Shots in favor of the Wildcats, 22-13. Again, we said it earlier, not too shabby defensively from that number. However, offensively for the Sooners, you definitely want to get more than 13 at this point in the final frame, but they're going to have to find some way to get 3 goals here. We're going to get a penalty called against the Sooners. Extra attacker comes on for Arizona. And that'll be whistled down. We'll see what the call is. It's going to be a hold. against Colton Levasseur.
And this is a crucial penalty kill for the Sooners, as things could turn lopsided very quickly. They already have. And early on, the Sooners have not been able to create many offensive opportunities for themselves. Most of these puck drops happening in the Arizona offensive zone. They're going to try to want to get something started here despite being down 5-on-4.
Big point in the game here. If Oklahoma can kill this off and keep that lead to 3, we'll see what happens. One-time shot blocked by Tristan Glass. Puck cleared. A valiant effort by Chioka at the blue line, but it wasn't enough. Arizona looking to enter here. Tristan Glass fires it, pawed down. That stung a Wildcat. They have to clear 2 quick clearances by the Sooners. So that's killed 30 seconds off this power play. Arizona in deep. Shot from the faceoff dot goes high. Arizona looking to control. Sets up traffic in front of BCB for a moment. Connor Horn does a good job getting a stick down, blocking that. Puck played down low. Tight angle shot. Might have caught something off of BCB. Went wide. Puck down low, held in. Point, Chioka. One-time shot. Whiffed on it. And the Sooners come away with it. Porter Wolk shoots it right into a Wildcat. See what the stoppage of play is here.
And that one had some sting on it for Tyler Shetland on Arizona, the forward. Unfortunately, right in the path of that clearing attempt. As there's 44 seconds left on this penalty kill for the Sooners. Arizona trying to make something happen. The Sooners trying to start something of their own.
Face-off won by Oklahoma, and it's played out. That's a crucial face-off for the Sooners. Puck flipped in deep. Swearingen does a good job of getting around his man. He didn't really make much contact with him. It was just he was up on end, and now the other way goes Oklahoma. Carlisle breaks it out for Best. Best rips a shot. Glove saved by Gold. Best again. Short-handed. Takes a check. And another. Just trying to pin that puck and kill off time. Best getting hit hard. Pinned by 3 Wildcats. Carlisle comes away with it for a moment, coughed up and turned over. Clean entry for the Wildcats. Penalty is over for Arizona. BCB holds it. They blew the whistle, but it wasn't held by Culbertson Bond.
A little bit of a break there for the Sooners. Getting that play. That shift ended before the Wildcats had an opportunity to take that.
Well, Aaron Best
rebound.
had the best look on that opportunity there for both sides, and it came shorthanded. He's a sniper, and he just put that in a great spot. It's just Gold read him like a book and was able to get something on it on his glove.
Yeah, one of the few, I should say, major breakaways we've seen so far in the Sooners, but again, nothing resulting from it. But that's exactly the type of looks they need if they want to get back to tie this game and ultimately win it.
Puck turned over. No icing, says the official. Goldstein looking to stretch it forward. Bank pass, picked off by Mondu, who himself loses the puck. Kicked along, Best slips, skates off. Been a long shift for him, and he did a lot of work both defensively and offensively for the Sooners, so a good penalty kill for him. And the other way goes Arizona. Levasseur gets checked. He was the offender on that penalty. Called for a hold, killed off by the Sooners. Keeps things at a 3-goal lead for Arizona as Mondu enters around the face-off dot. DuPont holds it in at the line, dumps it back. Kept in by Oklahoma. We're going to get a penalty here against Arizona now as DuPont comes away with it. Shot Swallowed up by Gold. Oh, and has another cheap shot in on Tristan Davison. What is happening?
Our second major scrum.
Davison had his back to the Wildcat defender that gave him a cross check.
Lachlan Gibson and Benjamin Mondu being pulled apart by the officials. You'd have to assume that penalty for the Wildcats will be on number 3, Gibson, the defenseman.
And there should be it should be a 5-on-3 for Oklahoma.
See, the officials seem to be delegating the penalties. And it looks like it's going to be number 25, Gabe Stoner, for the Wildcats in the penalty box. It will only be a 5-on-4 for the Sooners.
So it's just going to be a 5-on-4 as we get another power play look for the Sooners. Glass, the most recent goal scorer, the only goal scorer to cash in for Oklahoma on that power play. Fodrell controls Goldstein over to Carlisle. One time Fodrell blocked. Glass collects. Played over to Fodrell. Over to Goldstein. Fodrell winds up. One-timer blocked. Played down low to Best. Gets pressured. Glass comes away with it. Tight angle shot. Blocked again. Held in by Adam Goldstein. Played down to Best. And that puck will exit the zone. Fodrell does a good job fighting for it. Comes away with it. Springs forward, Aaron Best. Puck held in. Played back to Fodrell. There's a wide open Owen Carlisle if he can find him. He does. Carlisle slap, touch pass, scores! What a setup as Tristan Glass double dips on the power play. Sooners cut the lead to 2.
And an incredible setup it was here by the Sooners, finding Owen Carlisle, who's wide open on the right side near the face-off dot, able to get it to Tristan Glass for his second goal of the night.
What a setup for Oklahoma. Called it prematurely that Carlisle was wide open. He could have just shot that himself and elected to find the man down low in Tristan Glass. That Sooner power play is starting to look deadly.
Exactly, yeah, exactly what they needed to cut this lead in half with a little under 13 minutes remaining in this third and final period. Unless the Sooners can tie it up.
A crucial goal to make things realistic. And now Arizona's probably going to want to counter themselves offensively. So they will start playing offensively more aggressive and look for odd man rushes for the Sooners in attempt to counter that.
And this is where the Sooners are going to need to be careful. We saw the last time Tristan Glass scored that goal for the Sooners. Arizona came out hot and added 3 more on. You're going to need to be careful to try and kill any offense that the Wildcats might be trying to put on the board.
And you stay out of the penalty box as well. That's a big contributor. Josh McDonald's going to get a penalty for probably the softest trip I've ever seen in my life. As I was saying, that's Olympic swimming tryouts aren't for a while.
An unfortunate break for the Sooners. McDonald, a freshman defenseman, another one of these young players who's had a huge impact on the team defensively. Made some great blocks tonight. Not too pleased with the call. Gives the Sooners more work to do.
Well, they killed off that last penalty from Levasseur with ease and nearly got a chance from Aaron Best. Immediately cleared by the Sooners, but it's 2 minutes of where they're probably not going to score a goal, and when time is of the essence, you just don't want to do that.
Exactly, especially after the fight broke out. You're on the power play, you have the advantage, you score a goal, do exactly what you need to do. Kind of, gives your team the momentum.
Ooh, and a good chance there as that puck was on end. Justin Hughes nearly had the answer for Arizona. Skied it. Wildcats looking to set up. Sooners are playing this aggressively like they want to try to get something going shorthanded. They kind of need to. Chioka shot, scores. That's a hat trick, I believe, for Nicholas Chioka.
And that's exactly the response that we were saying the Sooners needed to be careful for. Arizona quick to pounce on the Sooners when they were down, taking the penalty. And now it's the exact same hill to climb as it was when this period started, a 3-goal deficit for the Sooners to try to come back from. 11:30 on the clock. We've seen this. If any Sooner team can do this in recent memory, it's this one. We've seen the grit and determination that they've had, but just really kind of puts a damper on the mood that was lifted with that second Tristan Glass goal.
Absolutely, and it's a testament to just how you can also be your own worst enemy in some games, and that's just a part of sports in general. As multiple penalties being called against will contribute to this. Aaron Best gets lit up. Now Mondu skates in, backhand, centering feed, rebound, saved by Gold. Swearingen looking for the answer. Good job there by Mondu and Payne, creating opportunities. Swearingen kept in to try to clean it up. That was all Aaron Best in the neutral zone, playing that puck forward to Mondu.
And Gold could very well be the difference in this game for the Wildcats should the score stand. Just an incredible job of killing off some great opportunities, keeping a lot of these all-star players, including some of the great young freshmen on this Sooner squad, off the score sheet.
The goals that he has allowed have been very difficult ones to stop, and wouldn't really fault him too much on that. He has played a near-perfect game for Arizona, so kudos to the Wildcat netminder tonight, as BCB plays with a dangerous puck. Sooners need to answer within the next 2 minutes. They look to do that with Porter Wolk. Sprung forward, 3-on-2 here for Oklahoma. Wolk drops it off for Carlisle on the wing, centering feed, no one was there. Goldstein, Wolk. McDonald shovels it forward. Good job there by Carlisle getting a stick on it to evade the icing call. Fodrell forechecking with DuPont. Tristan Glass steps onto the ice. DuPont really pestering heavily. Arizona comes away with it. Puck played forward. Centering feed onto BCB. Puck was loose in front of the net. One-time shot. Saved. Chioka nearly picked up his fourth. DuPont couldn't do much with it. Lavasser needs to play it forward to Davison. He does. Davison touches it, gets it in. DuPont nearly picked that off as Swearingen takes a seat. Now a 2-on-1 for Arizona. Centering feed shot, goes wide of the net. Puck loose in front, played out. Held in at the point, another one. Blockered away by BCB. Obviously the Sooners need to score, but they can't afford to give up anything else. 3 is the most it needs to be. BCB performs best in the midst of chaos, it seems. Arizona maintaining pressure. Puck in behind BCB. Sooners come away with it, flipped up, off the glass. They're gonna say no icing. Touched a Wildcat. Gold taking his time to play that. Cavalcanti nearly intercepted that. Carson Glass shovels it down to Bassett. Bells taking the brunt of that. McDonald tips it down. They're going to call this one icing. It caught a Wildcat player's stick, but it's going to be an icing.
You can tell Culbertson Bond believes in his team to be able to come back from this deficit the way that he is playing in net. Of course, we'll never see any player on this Sooner squad, especially not BCB, give up on the team with this much time left in the game, but he's fighting for it. He knows that if any team can come back and win this thing, it's his team doing such a great job for them in net in this third. But as you mentioned earlier, Christian, it's ultimately up to the offense to get this done, and if they're not getting shots, on. It doesn't matter how great BCB ends up in this third period because they'll still be down 3 goals.
Well, the Sooner chances have really picked up in this third period. It's unfortunate that that didn't happen in the first 2 frames as it has in this third and final one, but you can definitely tell they've started to figure it out a little bit better than they did in the opening 2. As they continue to have the puck pressured and hemmed in to their defensive zone, so that's obviously going to suppress any offensive chances.
I wanted to feel that so bad.
Bassett comes away with it. Bells toe picks and slips. Still in the defensive zone for Oklahoma. Bells plays that high, and I never saw it land. Where did it? It might have gotten stuck up in the rafters.
Unsure where that puck landed. Right now, as both teams will get some line changes. And the crowd seems a little bit out of it too for the Sooners.
Unfortunately.
Trying to will their team to fight back early on when this third period started and after that goal by Tristan Glass. But right now, a little quiet and understandable as the ice has been tilted in the Wildcats' favor.
Well, Vassar picked things up for the Sooners. Payne dumps it in. Mon doing best, chase after it. Former Brahmas teammates. So Vassar just gets stood up into, and the other way goes Arizona. Breakaway on BCB, and he saves it, pulls it into his pads, and a good stop there by the senior netminder.
Another incredible save there by Culberson Bond to keep this one within a reasonable deficit for his teammates, but another one of those Sooner offensive chances that just kind of fizzled out.
And we're going to get a premature face-off as some extracurriculars again, this time with Carlisle and Jack Curl. Sooners win the face-off this time. McDonald plays it over to Porter Wolk. Back to McDonald. The time is now for Oklahoma, and they need to get one on the board. Tight angle shot, no problem there. Puck hemmed in. Arizona has got more of a sense of urgency than Oklahoma does, and they're up 3 goals right now. The Sooners are in desperate need of something, at least before the 5-minute marker. Porter Wolk trying to play it. Fodrell down to Carlisle. Centering feed. It caught a stick. Kagan with it. Tight angle. Caught a body. Puck bouncing. And the other way goes Arizona. Only one defenseman back. That's Connor Horn. Now Kagan gets there in time. Davison takes a check away from the puck. It's played in front of us here in the penalty boxes. Wildcat goes down in the corner. Kagan trying to spring it forward to someone. DuPont pestering. Wildcats go off for a change. Horn flings it forward. Picked off by Arizona. Heavy check there. Arizona has to touch up here as Kagan gets the puck. Drop pass over to Davison. Flings it forward back to Kagan. Sooners unable to enter again. They just have to dump it in. Gold plays it in behind the net. He's got all the time in the world. Sooners were going off for a line change, so no pressure on that front. Icing called for Oklahoma, and honestly, that's a break for the Sooners. They needed that badly. So they're just unable to enter time after time and just keep coughing up the puck.
Yeah, and it seems to be wearing the team down a little bit. As you mentioned not too long ago, it seems like the Wildcats have a greater sense of urgency despite having a 3-goal lead with 5 minutes left. It's well past now or never for the Sooners to try to get something going. And even if not for the win now, maybe more so for the all-powerful ACHA computer wanting to lessen that deficit to help their chance in the rankings. Of course, the chance to come back against Arizona tonight. Should this score stand right now and there be a loss, an opportunity for a win tomorrow, but Sooners want to get something going.
Offensive zone face-off won by Arizona, and that was an important one. If the Sooners are able to keep it in here, that would be huge. And they are unable to. Swearingen chases after it, pins his man to the boards, comes away with it. Carson Bassett makes a nice move. Arizona still possessing. And now Aaron Best looks to break out for Oklahoma. Has to dump it in. Gold's there to collect. Puck rimmed around the boards. Taken away by the Wildcats. Offensive zone entry. McDonald's the lone defenseman. Backhand shot off the side of the net. Good look there for the Wildcats. They look to tack on. And McDonald plays it over to Nate Payne, who also wrists it on net. This time Gold, who pump fakes a couple of times like he was going to try to play that puck, but elects to hold on to it. And just south of 4 minutes left in this game. Sooners are going to need a goal a minute at this point.
Yeah, unfortunate how things fell apart for them in the second period. And then again, after that great goal by Tristan Glass, which you felt had kind of switched the momentum in the Sooners' favor. But ultimately, Arizona was able to stomp that out. And should the score hold, which it appears it will, this will be a great win for the Wildcats, ranked number 17 in the ACHA rankings, over a number 18 for the Sooners, a top 10 team.
Equal importance is how tomorrow's game goes as well, because if the Sooners also for some reason find themselves winning 5-2, it kind of cancels everything out to a certain extent, at least in the eyes of the computers. So we'll see if the Sooners can save face here towards the waning minutes of this game. Puck played forward to Jackson Fodrell. Backhand over to Carlisle, down low. Fodrell was on one skate, so he wasn't able to get a good look at it. Puck played all the way down. It's going to slow down to avoid icing. Swearingen over to Bassett. 3 minutes left. Fodrell over to DuPont. He's got two Arizona defenders he gets stepped into. Wildcats play the puck forward. Good deke there by Justin Hughes. Called his name quite a bit. Obviously, Chioka has had the plethora of goals for the Wildcats, but Justin Hughes has also been a shining star for Arizona. So we're going to get a tripping penalty here, or a cross-checking penalty here. Don't know who it's against.
It looks like it'll send the Sooners
just as
to the
Justin
power
Hughes,
play.
This is what we're talking about. Justin Hughes takes a seat for a power play. I mean, hey, 2:30 left. Got to get one quick and then pull the goalie immediately after, but we've seen crazier things happen. Sure, if you're a hockey fan, you've also seen crazier things happen, and insert scenario here, instance.
Yeah, the Sooners coming off of an incredibly hot offensive road trip visit to Missouri State. That first game they won 8-2, and it seems things have fizzled out, but they're going to need to tap into that a little bit this weekend if they want to lessen this deficit, try to make a comeback on the
shot.
Power
Scores! Nate Payne rips one immediately. There's the first blunder from Gold, as that took 4 seconds, maybe.
An incredible shot from Nate Payne, almost right behind the OU logo at center right, or right behind the blue line, excuse me. An incredible shot right off the power play. And you can sense the crowd is back in it now. 2 goals with 2 minutes, 20 seconds. A tall order, but that may just be what the Sooners needed.
So that second power play unit for the Sooners, the one without Glass, stepping onto the ice. I mean, literally, as I was just saying, score within the first 5 seconds, get an offensive zone entry, and then pull the goalie and try to get 2 more. As I said earlier, Gold near perfect game. That one, he had a little bit of traffic in front of him, but it wasn't anything crazy. It just beat him low. Offensive zone entry for the Sooners. There goes Brendan Culbertson onto the net, out of the net. Goaltender pulled for Oklahoma. Extra attacker out on the ice. Porter Wolk enters cleanly, shot. Glove, no problem there for Gold. 2 minutes, 1 second. It would take a miracle. Owen Carlisle. Yep.
Heads to the face-off dot for the Sooners, trying to make something happen. One of the leading scorers, point scorers on this team.
Face-off infraction there on Mondo's. He now has to take it. Wins it. Oh, but the puck exits the zone. That's a huge sigh of relief for Arizona there. Michael Jackson's Thriller went on for a little too long. Sooners just looking to hem it in the zone. Quadril touches it, dumps it in. Sooners are cleanly in. Puck came out in front of the crease. Backhand shot. Chance there for the Sooners. It was a yawning cage for Oklahoma. Nate Payne couldn't get it. He nearly had a second as well. Gold was pulled out of his crease on that. Kagan has to come up the pinch and hold the puck in. It exits the zone, just north of a minute now left. Puck played all the way in, no icing. Arizona fails on their clearance attempt. Here's Mondu. Fodra, one-timer, hits a body. Puck played all the way down, that's gonna go in for Arizona. That was a great empty net goal, I'm not gonna lie. That's probably the hardest empty net goal I've ever seen scored on this ice.
Rossi notches his first one tonight, the final nail in the coffin for the Wildcats.
Sooners were doing really well offensively, setting up for some of those chances. Payne had another good one as Gold's giving it back to the student section that's been giving it to him the entire night. As Arizona will come away with this 6-3 victory. Oops. Sooners just playing for pride at this point.
And that's something that the Sooners will want to look out for tomorrow. Having to work on how to counter the powerful attack that the Wildcats seem to have after their opposition scores a goal. It's almost the third time that they've been quick to answer.
We'll look for that, and we'll look for the physicality as Caleb Shaw will be back in the booth for the second time this year alongside a new color commentator and analyst, Elijah Lena, will make his broadcasting debut for you guys tomorrow. As it's going to be an exciting home stretch of hockey for the Sooners next week. Missouri State comes into town as they play them again. And then after that, Colorado State comes in to town as Arizona will win this game 6-3. A little more extracurriculars even after the final buzzer. That will do it for tonight. I'm Christian Markey, alongside me, Amy Acevedo. We hope you have a great evening. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow night.